I think the biggest thing for Matt, he's real conscious of how he plays. You know, he's one of those guys, man. He's an energy guy for one. So Matt brings a lot of energy to his team off the bench, and I think it was a little bit of an adjustment for him at the start of the season because he was in a starting role to potentially, sometimes he didn't play early on, and then just kind of slotted himself into becoming a player coming off the bench. And I think once he became comfortable with that role, then I think his game really started to elevate because he was understanding where his minutes were going to come from. So, man, since the All-Star break, he's been shooting the ball really well. He's been playing with a lot more confidence. Just his tempo. I think the biggest thing with Matt, I've had conversations with him talking about the pace that he plays at. He plays with so much energy. A lot of times, I think he plays a little too fast, and so he might do things a little too quick, which can sometimes get him in trouble. But since then, he's really slowed his game down, and he's kind of simplified it. I think Matt, I've oftentimes told him, I think you ought to take the blueprint of Bruce Bowen. Just from a sense of to be effective for this team, man, when you get wide open shots, you have to knock them down. You're a good defender. When you're on defense, just focus on locking your guy down. In transition, get out and run the floor and finish. And so he's really focused on that. So we spent a lot of time just getting his shots up, working on 1-2 dribble pull-ups, shooting his corner threes, wing threes, just trying to help him with his pace and his form and how he finishes on his shots, and he's done a tremendous job with it.
So how many sets of those shots?
So like Matt will start, we will start real close. We'll shoot five mid-range, and we'll do 5 spots again around the floor.
Right.
And we'll do some short curls. We'll work on his footwork, catch and shoot drills. We'll do some stuff off the handle. We'll do like 1 dribble pull-ups, and then we'll step out to the 3. And he'll also shoot 10. He'll go 5 spots, 10 makes in all 5 spots. And sometimes we'll incorporate 1 dribble pull-ups, like the defense is closing out on him, using a pump fake or a jab, and just to keep him fluid with those things as well. But I think the main thing is we just spend a lot of time on the shooting.
So if I take away correctly, last time you talked about him with his shooting, kind of the difference between him hitting his shots well and then maybe going through a slump was just kind of the rhythm of
I think rhythm and reps, and then also really just helping him. Sometimes Matt would sit back on his shot, meaning he would lean backwards, which takes away from the shot, and a lot of his shots would hit front rim. And then we're just really trying to focus on keeping his extension and his follow through on his release, going through his shots. So he's really focused on that. Over the last few weeks, putting in some time.
Cool. Now that he's kind of turned the corner with that, what's the next step for him in terms of?
Man, I think really, during the course of the season, you don't really want to try to change too much. If it's not broke, you don't need to fix it. I think in the off season, what I would like to try to, help Matt with, and kind of give him some things to think about is really just helping him with his handle, improving his ball handling where he can make better plays off the dribble. He has an okay handle now, but man, we can always improve it, and that'll just help him, another facet of his game, and also, help him improve his post game. I think there's going to be, now that he's playing a lot at the 2-guard spot, if he can continue to improve, being comfortable in that position, I think at times he's going to find himself with a smaller guard on him. So if he can become comfortable going down to the block every now and again, I think that'll just help expand the game.
Is there a balance that you think he needs to take in terms of those energy and hustle plays that he provides, and just the fiery demeanor that he has versus keeping the composure? Do you think when you weigh everything, it's pretty much net positive?
Man, it's more good than bad.
Yeah.
And that energy that he brings, it's one of those things to me. I think you can take, and all of it for me. For Matt, it's all positive because he's an emotional player.
Right.
And I don't think he's not trying to be an evil player. He's emotional.
Right.
The way he plays is the way his emotions are. So I think he's helped us tremendously. The team, and just actually kind of feeding that into some of his teammates. His energy is contagious.
And Josh McRoberts, you're saying look for the shot more.
for a shot. You know, I think the thing for Josh is now that he's playing.
Yeah.
You know, now he's gotten his opportunities back in the rotation, and him and Matt are very similar. You know, Josh is an energy player. He's a blue collar. You know, he does all the little things that may not show up on the stat sheets. But he's also another one of those guys that brings a huge element to that second unit. But I think the thing that people don't realize about Josh is he can actually shoot the ball. I think there's probably the largest misconception that people may have about him is that he cannot shoot. Sometimes he just chooses not to. But I think if you watch over the last maybe 3 to 5 games, I think he's become a little bit more aggressive. He still may not be shooting the ball, but I think he's making the defense honor him in the sense that they have to guard him. So I think as he continues to get minutes, and he continues to work, you know, Coach Kuster has spent quite a bit of time with him. You know, I've spent some time with him, Chuck Person, Coach Person spent time with him. So we've all kind of really tried to continue to push Josh to stay aggressive. But I think the thing that's really most impressive about Josh is his ability to pass the ball as a big man. He can pass the ball and he can handle the ball. And I think a lot of times, you know, you'll see him in the games, he'll get a rebound and just start pushing it down the floor. He's very good at that. You know, he's got a pretty good feel for the game. So I think a lot of the stuff that we do with Josh, that I've done with him, again, is, you know, a lot of footwork-based stuff from the block and from the elbow. Also doing a lot of touch shots. And we've actually also stepped out and shot some threes in some of his workouts. But I think the biggest thing is really for him to continue to be comfortable operating from the block and the elbow.
What are the reps?
So like from the corner, like corner threes, I would shoot. You know, I don't know if I had told you about the drill I do. It's called 10-14.
Yeah, you did.
You know, I've done that with Josh as well, inside and outside, but mainly from the wing, the corner and the wing, and then corner threes, and then maybe from the top of the key. You know, in areas that he really might shoot the ball in the game. You know, sometimes we've done it at the elbow. It really just depends on, you know, where I'm feeling that he may find himself the most in any given game.
Talking about his passing, full court passing. What else do you like about his passing?
From the elbow, you know, I think him, and when he's in, he's another big that can really pass the ball. He's kind of like Powell in the sense that he works well with Bynum. He's one of those guys where you cannot play off of him, I believe, because he's such a good passer. You know, even though he may not be considered, you know, a great shooter, you have to guard him because he can pass the ball very well. So in our offense, you know, he's good with DHOs, and, you know, which is a dribble handoff. He's good with passing from the elbow. He's good from passing from the wings. I mean, he has a really good knack for passing the ball.
So the shots that you want him to take, more of what spots on the court?
You know, I would love to see Josh take the elbow jumper a lot more because he finds himself in that position a lot in the game. You know, elbow jumpers, you know, top of the key, you know, right in the free throw line area, even some short baseline jump shots. You know, all of those 12 to 15 foot range jump shots, I would love to see him start taking those more in the game.
Is there anything else you want to see more?
You know, man, I mean, there's always stuff.
Right. I mean, just anything so
you know,
yeah.
I think really for me, just overall, just for him to continue to play aggressive. You know, where teams have to guard him and they have to play him honest.